Today is Sunday, March the 11th, 2018. And I'm setting up some meals for the next couple of days. And I'm working on my theory of what I call understanding how corrupt American agribusiness is. And so I'll try to speak loudly on this because this is important. So because the food is all made with about 14 different ingredients, just in different permutations, fancy word, and so if you buy certain things and you have faith in your knowledge, you can get a lot of calories at the expense of the lobbies. Market demand pricing, all the stuff we do to rent our cars and hotel rooms and anything you buy online, tickets to a rock concert or whatever, they're perishable. So recently, pardon me, some Mondays I go down to the Giant, Royal Ahold store, and they have awesome London broils and stuff that they've cut like on Wednesday or Thursday before, and they're going to sell them by Friday, Saturday peak, maybe Sunday. If you go Monday, you can get a $22 roast for $10 or $11. And then I cooked up one, overdid it, actually the truth, so it was well done. But it turned out to be top-notch London broil stew meat. And so I used canned beans because these beans sat in the water from the bean plant. So I like that better. I have worked in a lot of food plants, got into the production processes and ingredients in a couple of hundred food plants. So, and also I understand tariffs and, as I said, agribusiness. Certain pastas are subsidized by the Italian government. Certain pastas are subsidized by other governments. So if you buy pasta that's subsidized, you might pay a couple pennies more, you'll get a better product than if you just buy generic great value brand. So I do buy Gwaltney, which is a Smithfield, Virginia company, and this is awesome. It's great dogs, it's chicken hot dogs, and I worked in a hot dog plant, and I worked in some production plants in the pork regions of Virginia and North Carolina, and I know that when stuff is so heavily salted, there's nothing wrong with it. Salted beef jerkies, salted beans, all this stuff are what got the colonialists, the patriots up over the mountains and out into the rest of the heartland of America. So what I did is I used the microwave to nuke up some small baked potatoes yesterday. And I'm going to take them out of the refrigerator and I'm going to slice them into here, but rather than mix up my meals, if you cook too much at once, you cross-contaminate, particularly in a limited kitchen. So I'm boiling up 7 dogs, okay. This was a 3-pound family pack for $3.80. So I didn't actually divide that up. 24. We'll divide it up. Your background, Dr. Ralph is playing. $3.80 divided by 24. So those hot dogs come in at under 16 cents a piece. I boil them, and because I worked in sausage and hot dog factories, I learned like all the crap with the pig snout and the toenails and stuff, it's all in there. But they grind it all up and they sanitize it. But their kids eat hot dogs too. And hot dogs are like Excellent for a senior stomach. As long as you chew your hot dog. Paul's grandma said chew everything 33 times. Chew your hot dog small like you want your baby to, so your baby don't choke. Here you are in your 60s, don't choke. Chew the hot dog small. Take it with just white bread. And I'm going to go on and on about white bread. Well, that's bubbling. When I worked in the factory where we produced bread every day on industrial amounts, machines of mixers of 2,500 to 5,000 pounds of flour, I would have bulk flour that I would lift in 100-pound bags, and I had white and wheat. Then I'd have caramel color 50-pound bags, Vital Wheat gluten 50-pound bags, and then you'd mix this in, and it wasn't that easy. And then you'd waft in 1/3 of an ounce of a fungible baking powder over this big batch. Well, what we were taught was to be more careful for infestation when you had a higher grain count. So I did start off with black pumpernickel, dark pumpernickel, then black pumpernickel. Then I got really good with the grains. So I had 3 grain, 5 grain, 9 grain, Indian, millet grain, all these different breads. And they told us that when the carloads, the train carloads came from the Midwest or from the ports with these sacks of grain in them, 100-pound sacks of grain, that they had to be gassed extra because of the space in between the individual grains allowed the insects to thrive. Whereas the white bleached flour was bleached dead as doornails right at the source, so you still had retained a lot of value in those white bleached flours. And I'd take a cake flour, a white flour, a rye flour, because rye has a lot of acidic gases. When you make rye bread, you have to wear canisters in order to make it. So I use just white bread, the cheapest, $1.05 long roll, and it is just good. I don't get any indigestion. I know from putting egg wash on crusts of bread that causes indigestion. Undigested seeds cause indigestion. The acid from the rye bread can cause indigestion. Too much mustard. So if you just think about what you're going to eat, you don't need Tums or Rolaids, and you'll have a lot less GERD, agita. So in the background of those 7 hot dogs are boiling. This is going on for the Tom Z. Joad Living Socially Secure in America. Hopefully that works. I'm going to do a new segment of this is about what it's like to try to find work when you're in between the margins of who's employable and you have too much skill. You have a lot of maturity, they say, which means that you have a lot of maturity. Okay, and then they say, well, but your skills, yeah, I have 35,000 reads on my TripAdvisor page about hamburgers. I have 21,000 views on my bicycling channel, so I am current both physically, socially, media-wise, statistically, and in the quality of my work because I write reviews, and I am looking for work in this market. This is a beautiful place to live, not far from the Appalachian Trail. Background, I was cooking one day. It sounds like the fire alarm's going off because it was, and I couldn't find out where it was. So I often wonder about playing this part, but this is part of my economy, is that I don't own a TV, I don't like TV. I like content, I get that on the internet, but I don't like TV. I like Yankees and some basketball finals in Navy, bicycle racing, of course. So I'm waiting for those 7. I want them to be puffed and split out. And then when I go to eat those hot dogs, I'll take 3, I'll stick them in a cup in the microwave, do them for a minute, and eat them, either wrap them in just a plain white bread like a hot dog roll, or even without bread. And you get something to put in the middle of you. And by chewing it, it's easily digested, some good salt. Alright, so the last time I'm saying it now. So now I'm going to chunk up the potatoes into stuff not much different than the size of the London broil roast. So if you got a bunch of beans and some potatoes and some pasta, you have some stuff to chew on. Old cook's trick, right? Now, I want these potatoes to cook a little more because I cook them so they're starchy, so the starch will break down and go into the juices. And I tasted it, and it's nice and bland. I might throw a little salt, a little pepper out. Now, another thing that really gives this kind of real flavor is the skins of the potatoes. I don't know Ron White show where you making potato salad. Chance to cut some of that stuff off from the potatoes. And cook it a little. This bigger one I can tell wasn't cooked the same as the smaller one. And I do like to do the chaos theory that the big honcho in DC does. And sometimes you gotta throw some chunks in there that are different sizes. And before I put them in there, I want them to have a welcome home. I don't want the cold potato to hit the cold noodles, and then I try to stir it because the surfaces won't yield. So I should have started it a couple minutes before. So 16 cents a dog, and that bag of 24 dogs are usually last me 10 to 15 days. I call this hearthing. This is bachelor hearthing. I've got my music. And the next thing I'm going to cook today is ronzoni. I like to have pound of ronzoni available to just put in as filler. Almost everything. Oh, this is some sweet looking roast. And I have meat in the refrigerator. hand seeded these, turn them in so that they're not overwhelmed. When you're sitting towards the bottom, there'll be other, the hotter stuff, the roast.